I will note the video player. It's not a Twitch specific thing. It's not necessarily their code. A lot of code is based off. There was this element added to browsers. I can't remember off the top of my head what it was, but it's basically to reduce the usage of needing to use JavaScript to play these videos.
Right.
And the problem is that underlying layer, it's pretty problematic. So it pretty much affects all live stream players, pretty much, that do HLS or FLV. And obviously, I'm not confident in that type of code, so we're not going to modify the video players. Like the underlying code, the actual code for the video players. So they're probably going to remain the same. They're probably going to have the same issues, but doing it server side can help to reduce some of the problems.
Right.
Yeah. The other thing that I just remembered is how much money everything costs. So in total, what I've done, it's about $1,500 a year for everything. So that's why
this is with how much expected size right now.
Yes, it's like it covers the video, the database, power, and bandwidth for.
I will note.
No, I mean like how. Oh, sorry. I was gonna say. I mean like like how big could the platform be with that being the cost for everything?
Maybe at least 4 or 5 1,000 people with that pricing with what I've got. And we can always expand it like with caching.
Right.
The streams are handling the whole stream backend is a whole different story, because to even have the right servers to start off with, just to have about, I think I estimated around 6 or 7 concurrent streamers at once, streaming to it, it gets distributed, is probably going to be $100 a month if you wanted to go all out with that. As I said, though, it can scale, but it just relies on that income. And I expect that we will hit the bandwidth quotas a lot. So that's why the donations, that's why the split goes directly into paying for that, because every stream directly would cost us.
Right.
But I will note, since ingest on Linode, as they claim it to be unmetered, unlimited, so that means that if someone's streaming with no viewers, that means it's not even going into the CDN because nothing's requesting to it. So it's virtually no cost, pretty much.
I would always check the fine print on anything that says unlimited, unbounded, anything like that.
Only on inbounds. Only, I will note, only on the inbounds. You're metered on the outbounds.
Right. I would still make sure that's certainly the case, because if there's suddenly a unexpected price hike that you didn't think, or maybe not price hike, but unexpected fee there, that could certainly be a problem.
I fully expect companies like Linode to complain, because I have read a few forum horror stories, we'll call them. You know exactly what I mean, where you read about a service and there's a bunch of complaints about it. And a lot of them is where this was earlier days of Linode, where it was doing the whole Akamai thing where they were joining together pretty much. And during that period of time, I think that's when they had it unlimited. But then some people were complaining that they kept getting warnings and like messages from the service saying that they're using excessive bandwidth. I don't think they got charged for it. Charged any money for it, but I do expect for Linode to complain. And it's just something
speaking of Linode, they ghosted. It's a really funny story about them. I got in contact with them about doing like a partnership, and they agreed to it. So we got into a call, and they haven't responded to any of my emails. It's been like 4 weeks. They haven't responded to anything. I've emailed them 4 more times in like the past week.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing. So Linode, if we have to use them, I won't be happy about it, but
We
it's like
are
our only
pretty much going to
option.
have to, because your other solutions, sure, there's Hetzner and stuff like that, but because it's so geosensitive, it's going to have to be services like Linode. It doesn't mean it necessarily has to be Linode, but Hetzner is kind of out of the question. For the ingest, it may not be, because you could just get one of their auctioned servers, which would be probably better, but for the actual distribution, after it comes from the CDM, an external CDM like CloudFront, whatever you want to call it, on AWS. Yeah, that it's, as I said, and we have to be careful about Asia, because regardless of what service you pick, cloud service, the billing for Asia is a lot more expensive if you go over your quota. So we just got to keep in mind, and the biggest problem is that's where VTubers and stuff are most popular, is like areas like Japan and China. So yeah, we've got to be really careful with that.
I didn't know there was any weird difference in pricing there. Do you happen to know why?
Not necessarily. I'm guessing it's just to do with probably just their data center, like the data centers they use. So obviously it's just going to be some local data center, and these companies are just going to rent rack space, and I'm assuming it's just what they charge basically.
Right.
For it.
So at this stage, how far along is the platform? I know you have the roadmap on the website and like when you're planning to launch, but in its current state, where are you at?
The main platform, 90%. I'm rewriting the front end to be a little bit more optimized. I'm just copy pasting code essentially from the old version to the new version. For the streaming, you'd have to answer that. But
For streaming,
personally, I think it'll be out. I think it'll be out in maybe the summertime or like July, around that time.
big asterisks for
If that.
the stream software, because that might not be released at the same time. So, and at the moment, I have something working. You have the ingest from OBS coming in, goes to the relay. This is all automatic with the API as well. So, and yes, before anyone yells at me, I know you're not supposed to test on production, but I'm testing on production for the databases. So streaming to OBS, the ingest server will look up your key, which would then contact the database. There is no caching involved there, because that chain of events only should happen once every few hours, assuming the person streams frequently. So the stream lookup, that will check if you're already streaming or not. If the key is already streaming, it will instantly reject it. If it's not, then it will set its own URL to what server it's at. And that means that the relay can just look up that address and then request to it. So, assuming the relay hasn't started caching the stream, it only caches stream based on if people are actually requesting for that stream. It's not. It would just be stupid to cache every single stream happening at once on the single relay. That's just not effective.
Right.
So, the first thing it will do is it will look up. So, to make it easier for Selena, the actual video, like the stream URL, is just slash and then the person's username.
Sure.
So, and that's mostly because of the video player. As I said, they're janky. So, just to make that work properly, the first thing it will do is it will contact the API, which then, if it doesn't have it in its cache, that particular user, it will then take it from the database, print its cache, and then it will check if they're allowed to stream. So there is a Boolean that basically says can stream. And then next it will look up in a separate table of the list of all the stream stuff. So the stream stuff is the user ID, not username, their fixed ID, their stream key, video title, video description, just that static type data.
Right.
If that stream is active, it will then pull the URL from there, cache it, as I said, and then it will start requesting from the ingest. I haven't done the CDN stuff yet, so starts requesting from the relay and then serves it to the client. So all of that's working, all properly. There is a weird bug where if you are the first person to request the stream and it just started caching it, there is a weird bug where the video player tries to start playing it advanced and it will start going behind and it will start playing the last video segment over and over again. This is not the server that does this, it's the video player. So as I said, it's real jank. It's just one of those problems you're just going to have to work around. As for actually getting it working with the website, that's going to take a little more time. And soon I'm actually going to start working on the chat distribution as well, which I'm not particularly looking that forward to because I've opted to use Regis,
the
database for that, and using publisher subscriber events on that, because then that means that you can have the multiple chat servers at once, deploy multiple instances, so they're not all connecting to the one instance. So that's not working yet.